Perfectly excellent.
Hey, how's it going, party people? Welcome to episode number 48 of Perfectly Excellent. How you doing,
That's
Alan?
awesome. I'm doing good, Tim. 48. I have no witty retort for that number, but it's a good round number. Like, it feels solid, 48.
I mean, you could almost turn it into hours and make a comedy about it.
There's one we should talk about. I was never a big 48 Hours fan.
I'm not positive I've ever seen that one, to be honest with you.
And I think there's more than one, is there not?
I think there's multiples. I think there's
All right.
multiples.
Put it on the list.
That might have to be one that we get to at some point. But yeah, we're at episode 48, which means we are I'm doing math, so check me if I'm wrong. I do not have a calculator currently. Okay. I believe that means we are 2 episodes away from episode 50.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT real fast. But
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sounds like that's right. 50 episodes.
So I think we probably need a good episode, like instead of these crappy ones that we've been doing. Maybe have like a good one for episode 50.
We should do our 50th episode should be a recap of our first 49 episodes.
A clip show. We should do
a clip show. Oh, we'll do a clip show. Yeah, I don't know. That's food for thought, definitely.
Maybe that's the often threatened deep dive episode.
Where do we deep dive, though?
You wanted to do the Nintendo one.
I do. I really do, but I haven't had like time to deep diving is like a commitment. It's emotional,
there's
mental and spiritual.
There's scuba gear. You have to be worried about atmospheres. There's all sorts of stuff that could go wrong when you're diving deep.
Yes, especially if we go into a cave. All right. Well, let's think about that one. Maybe we could do. Is that special enough for a 50th?
That's pretty special. It would certainly be lengthy. It could be a supersized episode.
Supersized. All right, cool. Well, let's think about it. We got to get through 49, so let's not.
Yeah. 49
ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. No one has to pay attention to that one.
That one. Yeah.
So you want to start up with some invention exchanging?
Let's do it.
Perfectly excellent.
Oh, hey, where'd you go? There you are.
I'm here.
All right.
In the hot seat.
I'm in the hot seat. So I'm going to start up the Invention Exchange. And this is one of those items. I've actually had this for a little bit, but I try to show off the stuff that I've gotten in vaguely chronological order from when I got it. But obviously some stuff jumps to the head of the line depending on the situation or the story or sometimes even the theme of the episode.
Okay.
I've had this one for a bit, and this was a big one. This was a big
which is crazy to hear you say, because you've been on a tear lately.
I have.
You've really been crossing those things off your list.
So you may have remembered that several months ago I sold one of my guitars. And I earmarked a large portion of the money from that guitar for a very specific item. And I was able to get myself one. And I'm trying to it is big and fragile, but
wait for it. Oh my gosh. What is this? This is
the Dino Riders
Rider?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Look at all that fanciness.
These things are so challenging to come by because there's a billion pieces. So they're really tough to find.
A lot of parts.
The pieces are fragile, so they break all the time. They also have a tendency to stormtrooper rot and to yellow over time. So getting them to also be gray just adds to the complexity. So these are really tough to find, and they are really expensive. And I couldn't buy one totally complete. I did still have to hunt down a couple of extra pieces to get mine complete.
Show it off again, please.
But it's
let's soak all this in.
Oh, one of the little guys fell down. I got the other guy.
Oh, no, already.
It comes with 3 figures.
Now, is this a good Dino Rider or a bad Dino Rider?
No, this is a bad Dino Rider. You can tell because he has the brain box. He's being controlled by the bad guys. And
so bad.
This is one of those things that I really wanted when I was a kid. I had a couple of the little Dino Riders, which I showed off like several episodes ago. But this was the big kahuna. This was the big, important, fancy one. I've always wanted one of these. And it's just been so expensively out of reach. But I don't want to say I traded a guitar for it because it didn't take all of the guitar money, but it took more than half of my guitar money. So I'm really excited to find
several of the money.
It took several dollars.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Where was this on your list? What slot was this in?
I think this was number 3 on my list. So it's pretty good. Like I've done a really good job with that original list from the Grail episode that we did a few back. Although looking back on it, I kind of regret putting the Disco Dance Machine on there because it's not really a toy. And now I feel like I won't be able to get like the top 5 toy Grails because one of them's not a toy, and it's impossible to find because no one saves gigantic children's record players. But
we could do an updated list for 2027. How about that?
I'm getting there. Like I'm really ticking the boxes off of. So I'm super excited about this.
Awesome. Congratulations. It looks great. Looks like I know it took some doing, but it looks like it's in perfect shape. And no, I'm here. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, the pressure's on you now. You gotta live up.
Nothing major for me today. No Grails, no bucket list items or anything like that. But something cool. For probably like a decade, Disney did a lot of these kind of Star Wars mashup figures. They were primarily, I think, for Star Wars weekends when they used to have that in the parks. And I have some of them, but now I've recently picked up more. I didn't even know this existed. Mm-hmm. And so it went from not knowing it existed to being in my hands in probably about 4 days.
That's not bad. Good shipping. A++ would buy from again.
Yes, definitely. Came up on one of my saved searches. So this is Huey, Dewey, and Louie as Jawas with some parts there. And
they're looking a little evil.
Well, that's Jawas are just misunderstood,
I suppose.
Or maybe they are evil. I don't know. But yeah, this is I don't know if there's a year on this. 2011, there is a year when Disney theme park merchandise. We got some more stuff on the back. We have Stitch as Grievous. I can't really say it. Goofy as Cad Bane, which was was what I was looking at when I found this thing. Then we have Donald as one of the clones. And what is that? The bounty hunter with the bone in her head. I forgot her name, but someone as her. I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know. I don't remember her name.
Daisy Duck, bonehead lady. But yeah, I thought this was fun.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like it.
Star Tours. Yeah, I wish they would still did fun mashups like this. They did Muppets. They did Disney characters, and then they kind of just did a whole lot of nothing. But this is Series 5, ages 3 and up.
Okay,
and
good. I qualify.
It is sealed, but it will not remain that way. This is to be opened and photographed. So yeah, it was a fun little pickup. Like again, I have saved searches for this stuff, and this one came up, and I'm like, how have I never seen that before? So, but now I've seen it, and now you've seen it.
Now, and everyone has now seen it. And yes. I'm surprised. I feel that the park specific stuff does not typically escape your Mr. Radar.
Yeah, these I never bought any of these when they were available, and I remember always seeing them on shelves. I only bought some in the parks when they were blowing them out. They were like they were so cheap, and I bought Donald as a stormtrooper. I bought Mickey as an X-wing pilot, and I think a couple more. And then after that, they were gone. Now it's just so. So yes, it is Figment approved. Yay!
Well, that's good. I had that Figment. I feel like I've told you that before, that I had that Figment when I was a kid. That's one of the very few things that I took home from Disney World one of the times I went.
It's a good Figment. I wish they would. I wish they would make a new. Well, they made a new one, but it's not. Again, I think we've talked about it. Did we not talk about this guy?
Yeah, he's. Don't worry about that guy.
Don't worry about that guy. Like, just make a deluxe. Someone make a ultimate Figment ultimate. He can even come with the spacesuit. Like, call me. I have ideas. Like, but let's get it done. Cool.
Very. Well, cool. That was a successful exchange of inventions. Cool stuff.
Yeah, we need like applause. An applause button.
Yeah, maybe not.
Applause.
But,
good job, us. Good job, us.
Good job, us. The main event tonight is a rewind club. It's been a little bit since we've gotten to do one of these, and this time it was my choice. So shall we click the button and let everybody know who didn't already read the description or and see the picture what movie we're doing?
Surprise! Let's rewind. Let's do it.
Perfectly excellent.
We are doing UHF.
I really appreciate that you use the VHS cover there, because I don't know if you spend a lot of time looking at like digital movie storefronts. There's a weird thing happening with the artwork that they're choosing for movies. It's just like it's new stuff, like stuff that's never been used before, and I don't like it. No, sir, I don't.
That's not the point of a rewind club. We're going back, way back.
Yes, digital was not even a thing. This was digital, right? Digital.
Yeah, this was. It was the analog version of the rewind club. So this was my choice. This movie to have you watch this. I adore UHF, but you apparently have only ever seen it one other time before.
That I remember, but I will tell you, when I watched this, it was like I had never seen it before at all.
Okay,
I remembered bits, but I didn't remember the plot at all.
What's the context of the one time you did see it?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you, but I knew, like, drinking from the fire hose, Spatula City, like I knew things throughout it, and we'll get to all that. But I have no idea where and when I watched it, but I know I have watched it.
Okay. Well, as we tend to do, let's start off with some stats. So this was released on July 21st, 1989. Did not have the best opening weekend, as it came in number 11, where it made $2,200,000 that weekend. So do you want me to run through the 10 movies that did better than it on that weekend?
I can't imagine what is beyond License to Kill here. So please go on. Yes.
Okay, so the number one was Lethal Weapon 2, which made, now remember, UHF made $2.2 million. Okay. Lethal Weapon made $13 million in its third week out.
Which is more. Which is
Batman.
Batman? Was this Michael Keaton Batman?
Michael Keaton Batman, which was in its fifth week. That made over $11 million. When Harry Met Sally made $8.8 million. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, 6.4. License to Kill, which is a James Bond movie. I had to look that up. I didn't actually know what that was. That made $5 million. So number 6 was the re-release of Peter Pan, which was in its second week. It wasn't even the first week it was released. That made $4.3 million. In its eighth week, Dead Poets Society made $3.5 million.
Okay.
In its ninth week, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade made $3.3 million.
Wait, so did nothing open this week aside from
it was UHF? The number one opening movie of the week. So in its At number 9, in its 6th week, Ghostbusters 2 made $2.8 million. And at number 10, in its 3rd week out, Weekend at Bernie's made $2.7 million. So,
I mean,
UHF did not do well. So it was only really in the theaters for like 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of choice. That's a lot of
really
choices
just got,
of movies that you have to go see right there.
It got clobbered by like the summer of '89, as we just listed off, had a lot going on at that point. I mean, just Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, and Batman all being out at the same time. That's a lot of movie tickets. So it made $6,100,000. Would you like me to compare that total with Krull and Howard the Duck? Because I'm prepared to do so.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should keep a running total. Let's see how it did.
So Krull made $16.5 million. So Krull made $10 million more at the box office than UHF.
That's crazy.
Howard the Duck made almost the same amount. It made $16,295,000. So both Krull and Howard the Duck bested the box office total of UHF by $10 million each.
There is no justice in this world.
So, didn't do great. But that $6,100,000 number,
I can see that.
I was part of that number. I did see this movie in the theater.
Okay, so there you go. You're helping the cause.
I'm pretty sure I saw it the opening weekend. My mom took me to go see it. When we went there, it was me, my mom, and there was one other guy sitting by himself towards the front of the theater. And we were the only, there were 3 people in the theater when I went. Now, granted, I didn't go like Friday night or whatever. I'm sure we went like a Saturday afternoon or something like that. But there were 3 people in the theater when I saw it.
How great would that be if that other person was like time traveling you from the future? You went back to catch the premiere. Like, and you just had no idea that person sitting alone is your future self.
That would be excellent. But like, I had to see that movie when it came out because, in 1989, like, there were few things in the world that I liked as much as I liked Weird Al. And we'll talk about this a little bit when we're going to talk about the soundtrack after we're done with the movie. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But Weird Al is just like a gigantically influential and important person in my life. So him getting to make a movie, when I was 12 or 13, I think I was 12 in 1989. Like that was hot stuff. Like I could not believe there was going to be a Weird Al movie. And
I imagine you loved it at 12. Yeah.
I absolutely adored it. And the crazy thing is I wanted a copy of that movie so bad, but you couldn't buy it at the time because, I don't know if how many people remember this, but VHS tapes, a lot of them were rental only. So they were like astronomically expensive to stop you from buying them. And I know this because my mom and I went to our local video store and asked to try to buy it. And it was $90 in 1990.
I remember I learned that with Beetlejuice. It was the same thing. I got a copy of Beetlejuice. I did not get the actual VHS tape because they were very expensive.
Needless to say, my mom did not think that $90 for a videotape in 1990 was an acceptable amount of money to pay. And that was before I got my first job because I was not old enough to work yet. So it was a little bit before you could actually get a VHS copy. So I was probably in high school by the time I finally got to see it again. But since then, like I've seen this movie like easily hundreds of times.
Did you rewatch it again for this rewind episode, or is it all still very?
Yeah, it was a nice excuse just to watch it again. But I watch this movie at least a couple times a year, probably.
Okay, well, I went from watching it once to now having seen it 3 times in total because I was watching it and I was taking notes. I was watching it on my flight. and I was taking notes, and then I decided like it was impacting my enjoyment of the movie. So I just put the notes away and I just sat and watched it. And then I came back and watched it again, and that's where I made my notes.
So before oh, sorry.
I would just one last note. I will let you know that it is not available to watch on United's in-flight entertainment. I looked. It's not. I thought it might be, but it is streaming for free on Amazon. So that is where I watched it.
Gotcha. Well, I'm just kind of like this is one of those movies where when you and I talked about it, you and I have pretty similar tastes in most movies, despite some not good Rewind Club experiences of picking the wrong things. Like you and I have pretty similar tastes in movies, especially when it comes to comedies. So the fact that this is not a movie that you are intimately familiar with, like, is kind of baffling to me. And I'm really curious to hear what you thought about it, because I was telling this to my wife earlier, like, I just cannot fathom you not liking this based on what I know about you, your sense of humor, and the kinds of movies you typically like.
All right. So shall we dive in?
We shall. As is the rules for the Rewind Club, the person who has not seen the movie before or not seen it many times, they run the plot. They tell the story of what's going on. And I, as the person who have seen this movie lots of times, will interject.
You will be counterpoint. Yes. All right. So so the movie opens. It begins. And how? It starts with a picture perfect parody of the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, and immediately that's when I'm like, wait, have I seen this? Because I don't remember this at all. Weird Al is obviously Indiana Jones. And again, just like his musical parodies, I feel like this was like a note for note take on those first few moments of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, this is good. This is a good slide to
yeah. One thing I will say, there's a lot of characters in this movie, and I had to limit it to the ones that had some impact on the overall plot. Like, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Got it. So Philo, funny enough, I think in the subtitles they spelled it Filo, because I only know that because in my notes it kept trying to auto correct me every time I typed it. So very weird. But yeah, again, it was from the whip save to to the idol to the boulder. Like, it was, well, maybe not so much the boulder, because when he's escaping the boulder, it takes him on quite a journey before he is ultimately crushed by it. And then poof, we find ourselves back in reality. Apparently this adventurous opening was just the daydream of George Newman, a burger flipper at Big Edna's Burger World. So
now I love the Indiana Jones parody. Like, there's some stuff that's like very obvious and broad comedy, but there's also so many little subtle things in here that I love. Like, when they're walking through the jungle, you hear like cows mooing and dogs barking and just completely inappropriate animals and sound effects. The when he whips the guy who's about to shoot him and his arm falls off, like, that just kills me every time. And the whole, like, weighing the sand to get the idol off of the top. And he's like, ah.
Yeah, I
love it so much.
Bizarrely enough, the movie that came to mind when I was watching this that I got like the vibes of was Airplane. Like, it felt like that kind of like Zucker and Zucker type of comedy with like the signs that he's walking by and like just the way he was doing everything. But
fun fact to help further cement that, Weird Al's favorite movie is Top Secret.
Okay, so there you go. Well, this definitely felt like Weird Al. Like, it had him written all over this movie. But again, so he was just daydreaming. George Newman has a wild imagination, but he's flipping burgers at Burger World, but not for long. Like, I think a minute into that, when he comes back to the reality, he is abruptly fired from the job and tossed with his buddy Bob across the street by a Big Edna. So that was great. Like, again, it's the little subtle things like that are a lot of fun. And any notes, anything? It's like a solid intro.
Just as we get to the next scene, we show him driving to his apartment, and I love his car. Like, I love that he's driving.
I love that he mentions it later in the movie with the thugs, but we'll get to that later. So it's fired from his job. I guess George and Bob live together in an apartment above or on the side of Cooney's karate school.
Yep.
Which the new students kept flying out the window because they were stupid.
They were stupid. That is the Cooney catchphrase, that you're so stupid. Yep. He probably looked familiar to you, being that he is also in every other 80s movie.
Yeah, Long Duck Dong, and yeah, he's I felt bad. Like, I think Asian actors during this time had very, very limited roles. So,
and especially because he got all of them.
Yes, because he took all of them. Yeah, but he was good. So our heroes are in their apartment. They're lamenting about their unemployment. George makes a Twinkie wiener sandwich.
He does.
Yes, which I thought that was amusing. And there's some hijinks with the, I think at one point they ask what time it is, and then a fist punches through the wall with a watch on it. And I got to say, Weird Al is he's great in this. I don't know how many other movies he's been in, but he is really just naturally believable as this character. Yeah. And he really sells it. I think he outacts everyone else in this movie by a mile.
Yeah, he's also, and this comes, this, I'm not saying anything that's news. He is so naturally funny. He understands how to be not only funny, but funny and likable at the same time.
100%. Yeah, because he's super likable in this. I mean, his friend Bob is kind of just whatever, but he's he's selling it with everything. So George goes to see his girlfriend, and I'm glad you had your name on here because I just in my notes kept writing his girlfriend. I knew it was something with a T, but I couldn't remember it. He goes to see Terry, and they want to take things more seriously, blah blah blah, whatever. The only thing that really mattered was he started the Close Encounters parody with the mashed potatoes, which was amusing. And then we're at his aunt and uncle's party, where for some reason he is feeding the dog from the punch bowl.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So there's Uncle Harvey.
Uncle Harvey is not in the front room of the party when it starts. He's in the back room, laying some future plot developments.
Yeah, his uncle's a bit of a gambler, and he's playing cards there, but his luck was up this week, and he won the deed to Channel 62, a UHF station on the brink of bankruptcy. And
sure does.
Yeah, so, and he didn't really want to do anything with it, but George's aunt knew that George was unemployed, and
Aunt Esther. I don't have a picture of her, but her name is Aunt Esther.
Yeah, and that he, this could be a big break. So he drops the dog in the punch bowl and then goes to talk to his aunt. Again, I just love absurd things like that. Again, it felt very, very Airplane to me.
And again, I just want to just point this out. Dropping a dog into a punch bowl doesn't sound like a subtle joke, but where the subtleness and the beauty of it is no one acknowledges that that's he just drops it, walks away, and no one bats an eyelash.
And again, that is the beauty of it. Why he's feeding it from the punch bowl, why he has the dog, none of it is, and it's acknowledged or anything. But yeah, he drops it in, and lo and behold, his aunt offers him the job, and huzzah! I wrote the big plan. Uncle Harvey reluctantly lets George manage the TV station. Here we are.
We're on our way. Can't contain himself, has to go to the station right away.
Yeah, with his girlfriend, Terry, as I keep looking at her name, which she's in every 80s movie as well. I got to look up her IMDb, but she's super familiar. But yeah, they go to the station at night. It basically is an abandoned building, but the door is open, so it must be a friendly place, as George.
Also, I'd like to point out just another one of those weird things that's just very funny to me, but never gets mentioned, is every door at the station, the doorknob is in the center of the door instead of on the side.
Notice that. It's so bizarre. You're right. The homeless person comes up and asks for change, and then he hands him change, and the homeless person hands him the dollar, which is... But remember
such a good joke.
Yeah, keep
Such a
that
good
in mind for later. George and Terry, they explore the station and they stumble upon what looks like a mad scientist lab. And here's where they find Philo, the station chief engineer, and he just happens to live there and just immediately starts an experiment on George. Like he hands him the wires and
he wants to test his interocitor.
Yes, which I guess he passed because he did not die. All right.
Well, the interocitor passed. George living or dying didn't really matter, but the interocitor passed with flying colors.
Yep. So end scene, I think, at that point. And then I love it how George and Bob show up the next day for work wearing suits. Yeah. Like that's it. We're station managers now. We're this is serious business. They meet the secretary, Pamela, who's been working there for 2 years, and she really wants to get away from the secretary desk and focus more on being a newscaster. And then we jump into a lot, and this is great. Like there's just random segments and commercials, just all part of the flow. So what I didn't catch this, it wasn't Crazy Eddie, was it? The car commercial?
Crazy Ernie. Crazy Ernie's used car emporium. It's a giant supermarket of cars.
Yes. Club this baby seal to make a better deal. Like it was just, again, all of the commercials are great. All of their TV show spoofs are great. And sometimes they're just randomly thrown in, but I digress. Back to the story. Apparently, Channel 62, they just air old reruns. And I guess as they're getting settled in, a package meant for the station manager of Channel 8 gets accidentally delivered. And George thinks this is a great idea. Let me go. But first of all, again, another subtle thing. Every time they drop the box, it sounds like it's breaking, like broken glass. Yeah, that's great. But George decides, hey, let me bring it over there. I'll meet the guy. We'll talk shop, and we'll become friends.
He's warned.
Competition.
He is warned.
He is warned, but he's so optimistic and he's so charming that he's not really worried about it at all. Cut to Channel 8. Where the Judge Smales of the movie, as I wrote here.
Yes.
Yes. RJ Fletcher. I had it wrong. I wrote RJ Finkelstein here, but yes.
No, it's Pamela Finkelstein. That's Pamela.
So many names.
Like I'm really glad that you said that, because this is the one part of the movie. Like this guy's great in the movie, but I feel like this was written for Ted Knight.
Yeah, I mean, and it's basically it's Ted Knight light. This guy.
Yeah,
like you could totally see like this should have been Judge Smales' day job, right? When he wasn't at Bushwood, he's like, "Ooh, Channel 62, you." But the guy does a good job. He's immediately like yelling and berating everybody, even his son, like, "You idiot, you can't do anything I tell you."
But Dad,
I did not like his son. Thankfully, he's not in as much. He was like a little too whiny. But then why he's yelling, Kramer comes in as the janitor.
Stanley Spadowski. Which is funny because when Seinfeld started, like one of the biggest things I had about that show, I didn't really watch that show when it was on. I didn't really watch it until way after the fact. But one of the biggest problems I had is like, what is Stanley Spadowski doing in the show? This does not make sense to me. He's Stanley Spadowski. He can only be that. Yeah,
and he's kind of like a how do we say this? He's a janitor at Channel 8. And he's playing like I forgot.
He's like Which Way Did He Go, George? In like Looney Tunes. He's like that like character.
Yeah, like a little earnest kind of. Yeah, but possibly with a mental handicap a little bit. I don't know, or just uneducated, maybe like very. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he's really hamming that up, and the RJ Fletcher is missing this important research paper. It's not on his desk. So he immediately he's like, oh, the janitor must have thrown it out. He calls in Stanley. He starts yelling at him. And eventually then he just fires him.
Okay, wait. Well, I want to stop here because, again, this is another one of my favorite stupid jokes where RJ goes to Stanley, do you see anything missing from this desk? And Stanley points and goes, that stapler.
Yeah, I didn't catch that the first time. That's great. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter because he gets fired.
He does get fired.
Yes, he gets fired, thrown out, and then after he leaves, RJ finds the file, and he just laughs and laughs and laughs. He does not go back to Stanley, doesn't apologize, nothing. He just fired him, and that was it.
So from plot exposition standpoint, we are now solidifying that RJ Fletcher is not a nice person.
No. He's a nasty man. Okay. Money. He wanted it. What did he wanted a Rolex, from his son later or whatever. And he just yells at him. Yeah. And the juxtaposition between Station 62, which is run down, dingy, and Station 8, which is like very, very, very business like.
Cubicles, lots of cubicles.
Yeah, lots of cubicles. So, and then George shows up to deliver the package, and he calls. He calls, instead of, I guess everyone refers to RJ as Mr. Fletcher, but George just walks in and, hey, RJ, and like the record skips, basically everything stops, and he doesn't really get much of a word in against RJ, does he?
No, not really. He tries to explain who he is, and RJ basically just steamrolls him, thinks he works there, and he's like, you're out of here. Clear out your desk.
Yeah. Don't you people have homes? Kind of a thing. So, yeah, it didn't go well for George. He shows himself out. But lo and behold, he bumps into Stanley at the elevator.
Mm-hmm. And he hires him because they need a janitor. And he just feels bad because Stanley's really upset. They took his mop, which was his own personal mop. It was not station property.
Since he was 8 or 9, I forgot the year he got
8 years old.
Yeah. But yeah, so as you know, when one door closes, I guess another opens for Stanley because he went from working at Station 8 and now he's the janitor at Station 62. So let's see. And I think then we're at City Hall for a brief moment. Here, another gag. There's a blind guy trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, and he just keeps like changing it and asking the homeless guy if he's got it.
Nope.
Nope. And that's it. It's just like, nope. But I think this scene is really to show how like the Station 8 stooges are all jerks, because Pamela is there with Noodles, the cameraman, to catch the mayor at City Hall. Yeah. But RJ's son, I think, is the one who trips Noodles. He falls down, breaks the camera, and they do "Ooh, did I do that? Whoopsie!" So they're bad guys. Like they're not nice people. Yeah. Sneeze. Excuse me. Yeah, they needed to drive that in. Oh, and they had some good line there too. Broads don't belong in broadcasting.
Yes, the unnamed Fletcher's thug delivers that line.
Yeah, and he's also in he plays lots of thugs in lots of these movies. Pamela calls RJ to complain about like what his team did, and RJ's like, I'm so disappointed in them. Never called a chick's broad or something like that. And she's like, oh, you yells at. So yes, but then we go to a commercial break for Spatula City, which is definitely one of my favorite commercials in this. Nice,
it's good stuff. Buy 9 spatulas, get the 10th one for just 1 penny.
Yes. And the one guy's like, how do you say I love you with a spatula?
What better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula?
That commercial
and again, there's also there's also a play on the Hair Club for Men guy in the Spatula City commercial.
Yep. And another great thing with him is it like he's just reading the line, like his eyes are like going back and forth. I liked it so much, I bought the company.
Yeah,
that was great. But yes, so we Spatula City. Then we have a quick clip of like Uncle Nutsy, which was have to.
Oh, whoa! I must back you up because you are skipping Town Talk with Emo Phillips.
Oh no, I thought I had that on here. George Girl. I know I wrote that down because did I miss Town Talk?
You might have missed Town Talk, but
it is. I'm sorry. It's after Broads and Broads. Yeah. So I might know. Like, I appreciate there's a story. I appreciate that there's like a story happening here, but there's still room for lots of like random skits and shenanigans, like the Town Talk segment where Emo Phillips cuts his thumb off on a table saw, and this was really hilarious just because of Weird Al's reaction. Like, he is like generally like horrified. I lose my internet. Sorry, I went out there. Where'd I
You're
lose
back.
you?
You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, but I felt like Weird Al really sold this part. Like, he made this. I was laughing out loud at that. That was,
Just call me
random thing.
Mr. Butterfinger. Like, again, a very subtle thing. Like, Emo Phillips is standing there with his thumb, and he's got like just blood squirting out of his thumb, and it's like spraying all over. And he's like, "Oh, is my face red?"
Yeah, yeah. But he's totally not like in pain or anything.
No.
But Weird Al is
on the
like
floor somewhere.
Yeah. Weird Al is just like mortified. Like, his expression and reaction to it was what was great. You're right. So Town Talk was before Spatula City, and now we're at Uncle Nutsy, which is got to be a nod to Uncle Floyd, right? Like,
Or something like that. Captain Kangaroo, just like any of those kind of like little kid hosted shows that basically make bumpers around commercial cartoons.
Yeah. So what's happening is they're trying to up the ratings at Station 62, but their shows aren't quite cutting it. Like, one of the kids spits right in George's face, and you see the kid like start to laugh because it was so good. Let's see. And then we have a weird Beverly Hills moment. Right? Like, George is in the office doing paperwork, watching Beverly Hills, and then we go into a music video.
Yeah, well, there's you missed a couple of things. First off, like, there's a scene where Terry, who's a dentist, is at her office and has 62 on, and basically George asks her out on a date with her parents over the air.
For her birthday.
For her birthday. And there's also the Plots Are Us commercial. With the literary service, which is good. But George is working real hard. So he kind of falls asleep and has a dream about Beverly Hillbillies, which is, as you were saying, a music video.
Yeah, and I just thought that this was weird, but then I wrote, but in the context of this movie, I guess not really. You know, it's not weird. It fit perfect in. But yes, it was just
another fun fact.
Sure.
Mark Knopfler actually played the lead guitar on it because that was the only way he would let Weird Al do the song.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Today I learned. But yeah, so we go through this music video, and it's just another daydream because George fell asleep from doing paperwork, and Stanley wakes him up, and I guess like he at no point yet does he realize that he's missed this dinner. Like, it takes quite a while for him to. Yeah. Stanley has that great line, like, if you were in the spaceship and whatever traveling the speed of light and you scream, would you explode? And then Bob's like, do you guys mind? I'm working. And they're like, no, we don't mind. Like, again, very, very good, like quick lines in there. At the station, they're looking at the bills and everything, and they realize that it's kind of like a hopeless situation, and the station is going to be broken like a week. Yeah. So
but as George says, at least he still has Terry.
But dun dun dun, that's when he meet at 7:30. It's now 9:30. He reaches for the phone to call her, but she calls first, and she tells him she never wants to see him again. Sad. So now he's pretty much hit rock bottom here.
Yes. This is the dip of the plot arc. This is where now our hero needs to climb his way back.
And I feel like we're only like 30 minutes in at this point. Like,
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. George is back for another episode of Uncle Nutsy, but he's like so depressed and mopey and just doesn't want to do it. He ends up having like a little freak out before he just walks off the program. And as he's walking out, he bumps into Stanley, and he asks Stanley, like, hey, would you like to host your own show? And Stanley's like, okay. So Stanley goes in to host the rest of Uncle Nutsy while George and Bob leave to go to a bar and drown their misery.
To which Bob says, "But you don't drink," and George says, "Well, I've been meaning to start."
Yes. and so they're there. They order their drinks. I forgot what he gets, but Bob is upset that he doesn't have an umbrella.
He ordered a blueberry daiquiri.
Yes, which is so ridiculous. And but hey, as all hope seems lost, there's some rumblings about, like, in the back. Oh yeah, we're watching it now. And
never seen anything like it.
Yeah. There's all this talk. Stanley is killing him. He's knocking him dead on the show. And everyone in the bar is watching. They're loving. And then Stanley gives this life pep talk using his mop and cleaning as all these analogies. And it like nearly had me in tears when he's talking about, like, because it was really emotional, just and very inspiring. And this is the turning point, right?
Yeah. Sometimes life sticks to the floor so bad that a mop's not good enough. You got to get down there with like a toothbrush, but you got to really get it off, And if that doesn't work,
it's great though. I enjoyed that. That was a good speech. And then we're back at the station. Things are blowing up, and George asks Stanley if he would like to do the show every day, which Stanley only agrees if he can still be the janitor.
He likes being the janitor.
Yes. Apparently, though, the fans love Stanley, the sponsors love Stanley, and things are looking good. And George kicks off some new ideas for some more wacky shows, like Wheel of Fish, hosted by Cooney.
Like Cooney, yeah,
the karate instructor. Even Philo gets his own show, The Secrets of the Universe, where he teaches viewers how to make plutonium out of household supplies.
Yes.
There's Raoul's Wild Kingdom.
Now let me stop you here. This is one of those things where, like, I sort of feel like you couldn't have possibly actually seen this movie if you did not remember Raoul's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah, well, I definitely didn't, because I didn't know that turtles are nature's suction cups. That was new. I did remember teaching poodles to fly, though.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So Raoul is filming this nature show in his apartment, which is just full of animals, and he is not like a qualified person to be doing this. And then he like shakes it up. He throws poodles out. Lost again. So yeah, he throws the poodles out the window, and surprised they cannot fly. At least not yet. So
another fun fact: the teaching poodles how to fly scene and the Emo Phillips cutting his thumb off scene are the two scenes that made this movie PG-13 instead of PG. And Weird Al refused to cut those from the movie.
Well, bravo, because they're great scenes. Like Raoul is not at all qualified to host this show, and then George and Bob don't even know who hired him. Like, you hired him. So, but it's good, and it's all in a good flow. Like the bit after bit after bit. It's coming at a good pace. Lots of chuckles and shenanigans. Station 8 though, they're getting word that Channel 62 is blowing up. But
this is another one of my favorite. This is such a Zucker and Abrams joke.
So yeah, the guy who comes in to deliver the news to RJ is wearing this like insane cowboy hat. And I'm watching and I'm like, why is he wearing that insane hat? Like, it's so out of place. He tries to tell RJ that, hey, it's blowing up. RJ is like, well, whatever. We're a network affiliate. They're a local station. And the guy's like, all right. And he's like, take that stupid thing off. And the guy looks for a second and then rips off his mustache, like his fake mustache. So, again, that's very 80s. Like, that's very representative of that type of stupid humor that I just adore. Like, so subverting your expectations, but at the like lowest common denominator level. So it was very, very good. And then let's see. So Stanley's show and his shenanigans are getting bigger and bigger. He's drawing in the crowds. Yes, this is where the kid found the marble in the oatmeal and gets to drink from the
Joe
fire
Miller.
hose.
Joe Miller found it.
Oh, good Joe Miller. Yep. And then we get more parody programs like Conan the Librarian. And here's where I felt like they're just making this movie. They must have just been having so much fun. And I tried, George is in front of the programming board. And here's where I tried to pause it to read the names of some of the shows.
I have them all.
Okay. Because I will tell you something super, super annoying about Amazon. When you pause, they put up an ad. But I did see there's Beat the Loan Shark.
Yeah, so I can list them all. Because I did this. I stopped and decided to write them all down. So we have The Wide World of Tractor Pulls.
Okay.
You Bet Your Pink Slip. Leave It to Bigfoot. 2 hours of The Wonderful World of Phlegm. Beat the Loan Shark. Name That Stain. The Young and Dyslexic. The Lice Is Right.
That's a good one.
That's Disgusting. Buddha Knows Best. The Flying Pope. Bestiality Today.
Yeah, that was a hidden one. That was like down in the bottom, late night.
This is my favorite one. My Three Mutants. Dog Racing from Rio de Janeiro. Eye on Toxic Waste. Druids on Parade. Volcano Worshipper Hours. Underwater Bingo for Teens. And Fun with Dirt.
Yes, Fun with Dirt. Now, and then they go into some like clips of those we don't see. Those are just up on the board. But then they go to like Slam Your Way to Health. You know, like quick promo. Bowling for Burgers.
Yep.
Strip Solitaire. And they had Practical Jokes and Bloopers, which was but Celebrity Mud Wrestling with Mikhail Gorbachev.
So good. So they also get some news during this time period.
They get some great news that the latest ratings are in, and Station 62 is number 1, beating out the networks. They are the number 1 rated station in town.
Yep. Pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. Yep. But
to be fair, I would watch every single one of these shows.
Yeah, I don't know about Bestiality Today.
Well, maybe not that one.
Maybe not that one, but you know who does not
with Dirt, I would absolutely be DVRing that.
Yes. There is someone who does not take the news well, though.
No.
No, see, Channel 8 has been number 1 for 10 years in a row. And they are starting to lose ad revenue now because of Channel 62, which has been on the air for what, like a day at this point? Like it just kind of moves quick, but
well, you know, there's an insinuated passage of time.
Yes, there's an insinuated passage of time. But so RJ's not happy about this, and with his cronies, they're starting to scheme ways to get rid of the competition. And they just so happen to find their way to George's uncle. They find out who owns the station, who just got off a bad phone call with Big Louie, the loan shark, and that his horses did not win that week.
No, they did not do well at all.
And he owes 75 big ones to Big Louie.
In 2 days.
At 10 p.m. Friday at 10 p.m.
And again, let's just all keep in mind, this is not that $75,000 isn't a lot of money now anyway, but this is 1989 money.
Yeah, so that's like $42 billion, I think, in today's money, give or take. But Uncle Harvey gets the call from Big Louie. Now he finds out he's on the hook for $75,000. Immediately followed by the phone call from a very, very friendly RJ Fletcher who wants to talk. You know,
you missed Big Louie's salami chop hand.
Yeah, he unscrews his hand and then screws on a cleaver and chops the salami there for. Yeah, I was caught up in the tension of the moment.
Yeah.
As Harvey flips out of his pool floaty with his cordless phone. All right, am I still here or am I frozen?
You're here. You're good.
Okay, you're just deep in thought there. So RJ sees a solution there. He's gonna, Harvey needs the money, and RJ can buy the station, and. This kind of happens fast. Like I guess Harvey's going. I don't know where anything is though, because they're apparently not in the same town.
That, like, actually, because most of my notes were just me just trying to remember exactly what order everything was in, because anytime I'm quoting the movie while we're doing this, I'm not quoting it from notes. I'm quoting it because I know just almost the entire movie by heart. But I did make one of my very, very, very few notes at some point in here where it says it is not clear where Harvey lives or what he's doing in town.
Yeah, because
he was having a party there.
Yeah, and George was at the party, but now in order for Harvey to meet up with RJ, he's got to go to the airport and fly in a Continental plane to wherever the station was to.
Yeah, which appears to be someplace in the Midwest. That's, I mean, it was filmed, I believe, in Oklahoma, but I believe it's supposed to be like a Midwestern area.
Yeah, so let's see. So I just wrote
go
ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to help you in case you're losing your spot here, because like when Harvey goes to leave to go close the deal, George finds out about this, calls Aunt Esther, and she will not allow Harvey to just sell the station out from under him. So George is going to get a chance to match the offer.
Yes, he says he'll give him the chance to do that. So that, but I have a note here that, like, we go back to Station 8. And something happened that George was talking. I guess they're all talking about it with Bob, and Philo was listening in the background. And then George says something like, "I wish I knew what was going on over there." And that's when Philo goes and sets up like a spy device at Station H to
which these cameras are not subtle.
No. You would have seen that immediately. But I just wrote, the mysterious Philo. But then we cut to the airport. Uncle Harvey arrives, and RJ just meets him right there. Yeah, with a briefcase of cash.
No, Harvey comes off the plane with like
the peanuts?
Giant handful of peanuts.
Yeah,
again, just stupid little things that just crack me up about this movie.
Yeah, and I'll give Harvey credit though; he doesn't take the cash. RJ quickly wants to sign the deal, but Harvey's like, "Hey, I gave my nephew a chance to get the money by Friday night. Don't worry about it. He's not going to get it," and he just takes off on RJ.
Yep.
And RJ does not like this. He's mad.
No.
Then we have a promo for Town Talk with George. Sex with furniture. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, and then it gets that whole thing gets worse from there.
They unlock the mysteries of Al Capone's glove box, which again it doesn't matter, but one of my favorite lines is like he opens the glove box and he goes, "Aha! Road maps."
Yeah. And then it's a quick promo. There's like a serial killer. What else? There's like a Nazi.
Blows off of Satanism.
Yeah, Satan was on the show. But
anyway, he does have an idea. Like we cut back to George, and he has an idea of how he can save the station.
Well, I wrote down, like any good 80s movie, when you need cash, what do? You start a telethon.
So they start a telethon to try to raise money for the station. And then I had a note, like, do people still do that? Or it's like a GoFundMe now for everything? I'm sure it still happens. Like, I think PBS still does telethons and things like that.
Okay. Well, the Channel 62 telethon is on. And instead of asking for donations, which I thought was great, they are selling shares of stock in the channel for $10 a pop.
Yeah, I wonder who controls. It's not clear who controls the voting stock and like how this is actually going to work once this happens, but that's okay. Irrelevant. They got a plan.
I think let's come back to that in a little bit. But yeah, and then this is where the Station 8 thugs really decide to get nasty.
Yeah,
and,
it's time.
Yeah, they come to the station and they kidnap Stanley away from the telethon. So
which they do so by knocking on the door and saying it's pizza. And Stanley's excited because he wants pizza, and then they grab him and they put him in the car. And then again, one of my favorite just stupid subtle jokes is for like most of that car ride, Stanley is just still asking them questions about pizza because he doesn't realize they're not the pizza people.
I think it's only until the time the guy says, "Should we kill him?"
Yeah,
and after that he's like, "You're not the pizza guys." But without their star performer, the telethon is in danger.
They got yodelers.
Yeah, the other performers don't quite have the star power.
I believe as Pamela puts it, or maybe Bob, I don't remember which one says this, but like we're losing money every minute he's not on the air.
That was Pamela said that, and there was, I don't even know, there was like a giant Uncle Sam with like, I don't know what abomination was dancing behind him. There was someone playing like guitar on, balancing upside down on chairs. It was
kind of yodeling. Yeah.
Kind of yodeling. But wait, another promo for Gandhi 2.
Yeah.
No more Mr. Passive Resistance.
Yeah.
Gandhi just straight up murders a bunch of people. And
it's like Rambo style.
Rambo orders a steak at a restaurant. And all right. And now we're back.
Punches through the stomach of someone else all the way through. Yeah.
Very different from Gandhi 1, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm assuming. But we're back at Station 8. The thugs have Stanley tied up in the basement while they're playing cards. This was a weird thing too. So it cuts it before they show the thugs with Stanley. It's an exterior shot and it's night. And then in the next scene, it's day and RJ is walking into the station.
Yeah.
Where Terry, the girlfriend, comes and confronts him. And then after that scene, it cuts back to night at the station, which again, I hope it's all on purpose because it made me, I was highly amused. But yeah, so I don't know why Terry went to the station. That was a weird thing.
Well, she thought she could talk some sense into him because George had done so much. It's basically just a way to show that despite all of the problems that they've had, Terry's still proud of and supports George.
That was very nice. I was expecting her to go in, even though we saw the parents already, her parents. I thought she was going to go in and be like, "Dad, what are you doing?" And then there was going to be some tension there. But no, she tried to have a heart-to-heart with RJ, and he showed his true colors. He does not care about the community. He just doesn't care about anything. Money. He said some very nasty things about the community, which we'll
find out later.
Yeah, Philo just happened to capture on, which will come in handy. And then I made my note about going back and forth between day and night. And that's where I also made a note too, again, about the ads from Amazon. And we're back to the thugs. I tried to look at that table in front of them. Like there's just crumbs. There's just like, it's like
they're playing jacks. And they're playing Cat's Cradle.
Yeah. It's like, it's not your typical thug pastime there.
So good.
But, and they were so annoyed by Stanley. They like put him in another room or like a closet or something, but he calls out that like, oh, his blindfold's falling off. And so the Fletcher's thug, he doesn't even have a name, the guy you have pictured there, goes to talk to Stanley and basically say, hey, look, I've got like 3 guys here that want to kill you. I'm trying to come up with a reason for them not to. And now here is where the writing for me took a whole new level. As this guy's threatening Stanley, whose blindfold has now like fallen off his face, he's opened his eyes, he sees up against the wall in the basement his mop. I did not see that coming. And he sees his mop and he gets like superhuman strength. He breaks through his restraints, gets the mop and starts fighting off all the thugs. And this was just such a great moment again, because I did not see this coming. So I was really
wielding the mop and they have the lightsaber noise behind it in the one part. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then there's this whole big fight ensuing with Stanley and the thugs. He makes his way into Fletcher's office. He barricades the door very precariously.
He also shoots a staple gun backwards over his head into the face of
that guy's
Fletcher's.
Yeah. So what's that? He barricades himself into the office. Philo, who has the spy camera, sees what's going on. He gets George. And George says, I'm going to go to the station and I'll handle things.
Yes.
He just runs out of the station.
Not in his car.
Not in his car. He runs past his car, going right past the altar, down the ramp and out the door. And then we cut to a Rambo parody.
Yeah. Which I will say, I like this because I love everything about this movie. If I had to rank things, this is probably my least favorite part of it.
I am glad you said that because I felt like this was the lowest. This one went on just a little too long.
There's some really funny jokes in it, but it's a bit much. And my problem with it, I think the thing that makes it seem so long is there's almost no talking during it.
Yes, but also there's the tension of him getting to the station. You know, there's that whole other plot that's happening with Stanley. Yeah. And this is like how he's imagining things, I guess, are going to go.
Yeah.
Because he bursts into the station after this Rambo parody is over. And like, he has no plan. Like, he's all tough. He's like, I'm your worst nightmare, until the one guy points the gun at his head. And he's just like, all right, maybe I'll come back later, or whatever he says.
Yeah, and then like the next thing is just one of those jokes that I love, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to love it.
Which joke was this? Because I had the note about the car where he's like, "Let's go for a ride." He's like, "All right, well, we can't take my car."
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, no, it's where Cooney is.
Where is Cooney? Like, because this was something I did not see coming. Fletcher's thug lectures them, basically saying, "Oh, if you guys stayed out of our business, we'd all go home tonight." George does the shining thing, the red rum. And then, there's a noise outside and Cooney busts in.
There's not a noise outside.
Oh, what is it?
It's in the supplies closet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And when they open the door, all of the karate people say, "Supplies!"
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it was a door outside. So it was actually a closet. Because, again, I did not anticipate them showing up. So that was great. Okay, yes. But, I mean, it's the 80s. Everything was a little bit racist.
I love that joke. I just don't know if I'm really allowed to love that joke.
Look, everybody was a little racist back there. I think it was all in good fun. I don't know. But, yeah, that was so great. I was, again, cheering for them when they all jumped through, like the whole karate team, and they took care of the thugs. What are they? Oh yeah, they bumped to the corner, the mop didn't see coming, and they saved the day.
They saved the day,
and then we cut back to the telethon where things are really weird. But then, huzzah! Stanley and George are back along with the crew of the Cannonball Run for some reason. Like all these like cars start racing in. They triumphantly carry Stanley back to the building. Time is running out.
Again, two jokes that I love is Stanley's giving another one of his speeches where he says that sometimes you have to look the potato of injustice right in the eye. I love that. And then he does this thing. It's like, are we going to do this? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, I can't hear you. Yeah, I still can't hear you. And then he has earplugs in. And
he's like, say that again?
Again.
Yeah. I think they actually were saying no, though. Are we going to stand for it? There's like, no. And he's like, I can't hear you. Yeah. So then he takes the earplugs out again. But RJ starts broadcasting a special message.
Yes, and a legitimate one. He goes on. Basically, he had come back to see his office totally destroyed. So he figures, aha, I'm going to go on the air, show this footage, and just try to spin it that these are the actual hooligans in town. So he goes on the air. He says, I need to bring you this special message.
Yes, but then Philo once again saves the day. And as soon as RJ is about to go into the message, Philo steals the signal, overrides the broadcast, and plays the recording that he made of RJ trash talking the community.
This community means as much to me as a festering bowl of dog snot.
Yes, and it goes on and on. It is very, very damaging. So people are appalled at the behavior of this.
They are. So.
So Philo overrides the broadcast, plays the negative comments Fletcher made to George's girlfriend by community, and it goes on and on. Okay. So yeah, look at that.
Back to the fundraiser.
We're at $73,240 or something like that. Terry shows up and she's very proud of George, and there was a good joke in there. Like,
I thought you never wanted to see me again.
What gave you that idea? You said you never wanted to see me again. So, yeah. Let's see. Fletcher shows up and unplugs something. He unplugs the clock.
The clock.
Yeah, like the most random thing. I don't know why he unplugged
Which
the clock.
he does with impeccable timing, because he pulls the plug right as it hits midnight or whatever.
Or 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Yeah. Fletcher shows up and Big Louie shows up. Harvey's kind of like freaking out because he needs the money. So it looks like
okay, you won. Give me the money.
Yeah, so he turns to Fletcher, asks for money, but Fletcher's like making him sweat and kind of like being a jerk about it.
Wants to give a speech.
He gets up to start giving a victory speech, and then they're listening. And I missed the part with the homeless guy asked for money from Fletcher outside the station too
Earlier, and he got 1 penny.
He gave him 1 penny. Well, it turns out it was an extremely rare penny because the homeless guy now shows up to buy $2,000 in stock, bringing them to the needed 75,000. And we never get to meet Big Louie. George just stuffs a bunch of money into the limousine.
It's very much like a Dr. Claw sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Harvey signs over to the station to George, and off go the fireworks.
There is much rejoicing.
And then RJ starts to take a series of unfortunate events because John Vickers from the FCC shows up, and he's there. Station 8 is late renewing their license. Normally they would pay a fine for that, but because of his comments, he's revoking their license immediately, taking them off the air.
Yep. And then Pamela comes up to interview him.
Yes, that's great. Fletcher's kid gets tripped and falls into the mud and gets a little taste of that. Like, oops, did I do that?
Whoopsie.
Yep.
Noodles does that. The person who kicked tripped earlier.
Yes, so everyone's getting their payback here. Everyone's getting their revenge. George thanks Philo, who says his work is done on this planet and he must return home. And what does George say? Like, have fun. Okay, have fun.
He says he must return to his home planet.
Oh, his home planet. Yes, sorry. Yeah. And then George, they're like, oh, okay, have fun. And then Philo kind of walks into the background while other things are happening. And then you see him, like, his face transform into an alien, and then you
and very much like a Large Marge thing in Pee-wee's Big Adventures, like that sort of like stop motion thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much celebration happening. It's a very triumphant ending. Like, George presents Stanley with a trophy, the world's greatest janitor and TV star.
Yeah.
And it ends on a happy note. And I'm glad that the homeless guy thanks Fletcher for the penny, because he ends up telling him that, like, hey, because of your penny, it turned out to be worth a fortune. I was able to buy all this stock for this station, and not only that, I got myself a neat Rolex. Yeah. And so Fletcher has like a little breakdown, and then they hug.
Yeah.
They embrace. And then we have like this, Terry has a moment with George where she wants to be part of his.
It's like a Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, like Casablanca, Gone with the Wind thing. And and end scene, right?
End scene.
Yes. Now, so with Amazon,
before we get to the soundtrack, let's like. Tell me about your feelings of this movie overall.
I don't know if there was anything in the credits because Amazon would not let me watch the credits.
There isn't like a post-credit scene or we got some Frozen going on. No, there's nothing that I remember from the credits. There's no like mid-credits or post-credit scene or anything like that. There's probably some jokes in the credits. To be honest with you, that's actually the one thing I've never really looked at to see.
Okay. Because again, that was another annoying thing with Amazon where it went like into the credits for a second and it started playing some other movie like, oh, you might like this, which was some horrible like 80s movie. I'm like, oh, make it stop. Hey, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. This was a good time. Again, has all the trappings of the 80s insanity. Like the only thing I think it was missing was like nudity, and then it would have been like, it would have had it all. But it was 89. I think we started to stop.
Oh, and it's Weird Al. He does try to keep it family friendly.
That's it. It is very family friendly. It's very clean. and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And again, it's hard when it's a movie that you haven't grown up with, but this was good. I'm glad to have watched it, not once, but twice. So,
and hopefully more times. Do you feel this being a movie that kind of enters your personal? Oh,
I got my money's worth out of it.
All right. It looks like Alan froze again. Apologies. Oh, are you back?
I'm frozen. I'm back.
I think
I'm back. But you were asking, is it a movie that? What was that question again?
Do you think this is a movie that will become part of like your watching? Like, is this something you'd watch again? Is this something that you would be like, yeah, this is a movie that I like?
This is a fun time end to end. I did have a little bit of a difficult time with what's his name, Michael Richardson, like Kramer.
Yeah.
That was only because of like his real world troubles. I'm trying not to let that impact my enjoyment of the movie. I mean, just like Howard the Duck, right? Like there's badness there.
There's bad there. But yeah, no, I mean, again, this has just been one of my favorite movies, like since the moment I saw it.
Awesome.
Super impressionable when I was a kid. And a lot of it was just because like how much I loved Weird Al, because I had a bunch of Weird Al records at this point, and the thing that he did for this movie is he also did a soundtrack, which wasn't just the soundtrack. It was the original motion picture soundtrack and other stuff.
It actually says that.
I think, yeah. And more stuff. I don't remember exactly what it is. But there are things from the movie in here. There are songs from the movie in here. But then there's also just some of normal Weird Al parodies. Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, this is his second lowest selling record, behind only Polka Party, which came out in 1986. This came out after Even Worse. So he was riding high off of his parody of Bad, which was Fat. This was before he did Off the Deep End, which is when he did the Nirvana parody, which kind of brought him back up because UHF was a big failure. And this soundtrack did not really do well for him either. And I have no idea why, because I love it. And like, I loved it then. I thought it was, and I liked Polka Party too. Yeah. I thought they were just as good as any of his other records.
Well, Attack of the Radioactive Hamsters from a Planet Near Mars. That might be the banger on this album.
You probably don't remember, but when we were actually playing music with our friend Mike, I kept saying that there was a Weird Al song that I wanted to cover. It was that one.
Okay, yeah, because that was definitely, I liked that a lot. I like Hot Rocks Polka. That was another good one.
Yeah. Which for those who don't know is a mashup of a whole bunch of Rolling Stones songs played as a polka medley.
Yeah, that was amusing. UHF, that was the title track.
Yeah.
She drives like crazy. That I don't know that I've ever heard that one before, but I was laughing at that. And then I liked Spam. That was another good one.
Spam is one of my favorite parodies of his that almost no one ever talks about. There's a couple of like movie things in here, like the Gandhi 2 thing is in here. Yep. The Let Me Be Your Hog is the song that's being played when Uncle Harvey's in the pool, when Big Louie calls him. Fun Zone is the music that's played during Stanley Spadowski's Funhouse. But as much as I like Attack of the Radioactive Hamsters from a Planet Near Mars, and as much as I like Spam, sometimes I do think that my favorite song on here is The Biggest Ball of Twine in Minnesota.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is like this epic, like 7-minute long, like folk ballad about a guy taking his family on vacation to go see the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, yeah.
But there's so many like dumb little lines in there that just make me laugh because it tells such an epic story of like a National Lampoon's Vacation style kind of situation.
I'm guessing based on the success of this movie, we're not going to get a sequel anytime.
No. It took almost like 35 years before he was allowed to do another movie, which was the like fake documentary of himself that he made a couple years ago with the Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter guy, played Weird Al. Oh. And it was pretty good. I enjoyed watching it, but it's not like this. It's not funny in this kind of way. So I don't like that movie quite as much as I love UHF. But I love UHF. I love the soundtrack. And I kind of just don't. I mean, I understand why it's not popular because most things that I like are not popular. But this is one of those things where my brain just could not comprehend someone watching this and not thinking it's funny. Like I don't see how that could be a thing.
Well, in current news, I haven't seen it because I don't want any spoilers, but I do believe Weird Al is part of the retheme of the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets at Hollywood.
I think he is. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, he was. I saw he was at the premiere, and I try to avoid spoilers for that stuff. I want to experience it in person, but I guess he's in maybe the pre-show or in some sort of shenanigans there, which is awesome.
Certainly an upgrade from Aerosmith.
Yes, it is definitely an upgrade from Aerosmith. I'm very happy that they did this. I'm sad we had to lose Muppet Vision in order to get it, but cool. I will report back on the Weird Al part.
Yes, please do. I'm looking forward to it. Not that I'll ever see it, but I'm glad that he's there, and I like the Muppets.
Yeah, again, we had Aerosmith, we got Weird Al and the Muppets. I think we did okay. I think it was that is a
big time upgrade. Big time upgrade.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a good time. Good rewind.
I'm 3 for 3.
You are 3 for 3. Yeah, again, I still love those movies. Like I still love Krull. I know it's awful. Howard the Duck, and whatever there was the 40th anniversary. I sent you the link for the
Blu-ray of Howard the
Duck coming out. So, and I think I don't know if I told you, but under where I saw that posted, people were saying, "Oh my God, this movie's so bad," but I just can't. I still love it.
And again, maybe if I had seen it when I was a kid, I would have a different feeling about it. And a lot of things are like that.
Yeah.
I say this all the time because I feel like this is the thing that explains that the best. I don't like The Goonies because I never saw it when I was a kid. And seeing The Goonies when you're in your 20s, it doesn't have that same magic that I'm sure it has for people who see it when they're kids. Because I know so many people that's one of their favorite movies. And I always sort of feel bad and like sort of left out that I don't get it. Yeah. And I'm sure I would have liked it if I had seen it when I was a kid.
Well, when we get time traveling Tim, because eventually that'll happen, we will go back in time and make sure you watch it as a child.
Yeah. That might be another one to do for this, though, because I've only seen The Goonies once, and I saw it in like 2002 or something like that. So, and again, I also remember, like, I didn't dislike it. It's not like I watched it and said, "Oh, this stinks." I watched it and I was just like, this is really, it's okay. It's not for me. Well, so maybe that's one we should do at some point.
I mean, I'm happy to. I absolutely love The Goonies, and I've watched that. I must watch it at least once or twice a year. Like it's still a great movie.
Yeah, but you have the spotlight on you. It's your choice, the next one, and you have to pick one that there is a really good chance that I'm going to like, because I cannot sit through another Krull or Howard the Duck, because I don't want to come on this show and start complaining. I want to talk about the stuff that we love.
So you're not up for Krull 2?
Was there a Krull 2?
No, there was definitely not a Krull 2.
Well, they do things like that sometimes. Like they made a Manos the Hands of Fate 2, like within the
Did
last,
they?
Something like, it's just stupid stuff. Right. They do things like that sometimes.
All right. I will put some deep thought into it for the next one. Maybe even a pre-screen like we discussed to make sure I'm not sending you down a bad path. But I really want to find some good gems that have kind of evaded you all these years.
Yeah. Which there's a lot of them. Like I haven't seen a lot of movies that I probably should have seen. Like I've never seen Rambo. Like, as we mentioned earlier, I've never seen 48 Hours. Mm-hmm. Like, there's lots of those kind of movies that, for one reason or another, I just never saw. Like, I didn't have HBO when I was a kid. So I didn't see a lot of those movies that were, like, constantly rerun on those kind of stations.
I wonder, can we do it? We should do a movie inventory one day where we just go through movies and be like, saw it? Yes. Like, so we can slot things out and see. Again, I used to love, like, Rambo, Commando, all of those, like, machine gun movies from the 80s.
We'll have to see.
Come up with something good.
All right. As far as next week goes, I'm not sure what the plan is for a show. I've been kind of compiling some like smaller things. It might be time for a 6 demon bag because there are a bunch of stuff that I kind of want to talk about, but it's not a whole episode's worth.
I've got some demon bags I could throw in there. There's some Disney stuff going on that may be of interest to you that we can talk about.
I'm probably going to go see He-Man this weekend because like I can't not see it opening weekend.
I've heard good things.
So that'll probably be part of the demon bag. And there's some other toy stuff going on, like new stuff that I just like some new Godzilla Ultimates got revealed in the last couple days, and like I really want to talk about that because I'm in a very different spot now than I was the last time they had some. Episode
49 is an odd number, so let's plan on that. Well, let's get our demon bag in order.
Very good. And then we got to prep for whatever episode 50 is, but mark my words, it's going to be an episode.
You're not going to want to miss this. It will be the 50th episode we have done.
It'll be at least as good as the other 49.
Yes. No, better. We've come a long way. I think we should go. Episode 50 should be us watching the unaired episode 1, right? Or episode 0 that we did, which I have not watched.
Well, you can't watch it because episode 0, the video didn't record, so we ended up with just audio. Yeah.
So what if we try to mime it, like we play the audio, we just try to recapture it. But that was good. We've come a long way in 50 episodes.
We have.
Cool.
Well, thank you to everyone for watching, hanging out while we talked about one of my favorite movies of all time, and now one of Alan's favorite movies of all time.
Yes, it gets my seal of approval, like Nintendo. Boom.
Just don't club that baby seal.
No, that was great. Yep. Club that seal for a good deal. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Perfectly excellent.